Hi. That's weird. Hold on a minute. What the... Huh? Wait, what? Is that not working properly? Let me try something a minute. I don't know what the hell was going on with OBS, I'll be honest. But, like, it had removed my scene transition. You know, the, what you call it? The, I can't remember what you call them now. The blue thing that comes up. That. I had trouble going live as well, actually. Don't know what the heck's going on with OBS today. Stinger? Is that the word? The stinger wasn't working properly? Anyway. So we're carrying on with the real face of a VTuber tonight. Now, I've got to be a bit careful with how I word this, alright? Last time we played, we did not catch the killer. Alright? I will say no more. We finished a run, but the killer is still at large. So it's up to me to find them now. Which means we need to go through the other routes, right? So, let us load in chapters. Okay. So we need to work out chapters. Here we are. Yeah, this is the pathway we took before. We accused Kuripa in the final chapter, and we've managed to confirm the ending of this route. We accused Sophie in chapter 3, right? Now it looks like there's a lot more options for accusations here. Now, as I understand it, there is a chapter somewhere that we're not allowed to stream. That I do not know, Erixia. That remains to be seen. See, I don't want to say yes to that because I genuinely do not know. But if we hit this button, why not? Because I don't know. I don't have enough information to make such an assertion at this point. At this juncture. At this point in the turning of the age. So. Welcome, Neelam. How you doing? Welcome in. Give me a second. I'm just going to grab a lozenge. My cough's gotten bad again. I need to speak to my doctor about this. Why can I not stream? Oh, why can I not stream all chapters? You can stream all of the main game. There's just one like extra chapter that the developers have said is off limits for streams. They may change their mind on that in the future, but it's up to them. And I mean, they gave me a copy of this game, so you know, like I need to make sure that I respect developer wishes in this sense. So you know, I mean, they were good enough to give me a copy of this game free of charge, and I think the least I can do is just kind of you know observe their wishes. And yeah, I mean, you know, in the future if they put out other games, then you know maybe they'll consider me again. That'd be nice. I mean, I've enjoyed this one. I'd recommend this one to folk anyway. I mean, so far, Arahelis and Zaktan have both ended up at least playing it. Zach was saying that he wanted to play it, but I think he was considering it, so he's not going to be about tonight, I don't think. He might swing in and say hi, but he said he'd been avoiding these streams because he was wanting to play this himself, which I think, I mean, that's a compliment, you know. When someone's like, oh, I'm going to avoid your stream, but it's because you've made me want to play this game myself. It's like, yeah, I'll take that. So, I think we hit this button. Who will I accuse? Oh, okay. Looks like we have to go through part of chapter 2 again. So, do I need to reset this? Chapter 4, we got 89% on. Okay. Hey, Hades, welcome in. How you doing? No, let's not ask about those. I think we have to reset chapter 2. Because you see, if we go here, right, we can only accuse Kuripa at this point. If we go here, we can only accuse Sophie, but we've already done that. We can't actually select anyone else. So I think we have to go through chapter 2 again. And we have to set ourselves... do I go continue? Let's try that. Oh, it puts us straight to the accused section. Let's check our evidence then. We have everything. We have absolutely everything. Okay, let's chat with Secretary Close first. Now what? Give me a clue. Tell me about Honor. I think Ara's done an accusation of Amanda previously. That apparently got kind of uncomfortable. I don't know exactly what the subject matter was, but like Ara's got a pretty strong stomach, so if they're getting kind of if they're getting a bit disturbed by stuff, then you know it's gonna be heavy. What about Honor Chen? Her prints are on the knife, and if the stream was fake, she has no alibi. Could accuse her on the knife and her alibi. Sure, let's do that. I'm accusing you. On the knife. And your alibi. Okay. Oh, is it the alibi 2? Yeah. I think it's the knife and alibi. Is it the knife and alibi 2, isn't it? Right? No, it's alibi 1. Sake. I'm so bad at being a prosecutor. Okay. Right. Court's about to begin. Feel good about it? Take it step by step for now. And hold on, what are you even doing here? What? I can't come along. This has nothing to do with you. Don't you have other work to do? I'll put in overtime to really invest in this case, alright? So what now? Do you have no chance to win? Honestly, the lack of evidence isn't the most difficult part of this trial. Oh, what is? The fact we have 3 people claiming to be Kuripa's real face, so we have no way to explain this whole thing to the judge. That's going to make things difficult. Well, for some witnesses, we have to avoid mentioning that they're Kuripa's real face, but their testimony still has to prove that the defendant isn't her real face. Intriguing. Just give me a second. I'm just going to... There we go. I just had to recalibrate my camera. I think I've got like big old bags on the bar, so it thinks they're closed half the time. Woo! Alright. My brain's going to break. It's a conundrum, huh? Trial's about to begin. Can we actually do this? Who knows? I think we can. This court will now convene with the matter of the death of LILIEN Entertainment CEO, Mr. C. Counsel, please be seated. Counsel for the prosecution and defence, are you ready to proceed? Prosecution's ready. Defence is ready. Very well. Both sides may state their position. Okay. The victim in this case is the CEO of LILIEN Entertainment, Mr. C. On the morning of April 21st, his body was found in his office, time of death estimated to be the night before. Various... Oh, I've not turned one of my lights on. Whoop. There we are. Various signs point to someone familiar with Mr. C and the office being the suspect, namely someone with a key, which is why we've narrowed the suspects to LILIEN's 6 employees. Our investigation has determined that Honor Chen carries a high amount of suspicion, something we will expound upon today. Oh, hang on. There we are. Yeah, that's better. There are 6 employees with the keys to the office, so it's unreasonable to focus on Honor Chen for that reason alone. Also, prosecutor truth's various sides are far too abstract. In reality, there was no evidence at the scene of the crime that directly points to Miss Chen. The defence will provide evidence proving that Miss Chen has a strong alibi, placing her away from the scene of the crime on the night of the murder. The prosecution is frankly accusing Miss Chen based on a series of false assumptions, not enough to prove any form of guilt, assumptions which we will enumerate one by one. You sure about that? Very well, I've heard both sides' statements. Please call the first witness to the stand. It is Hoss. Name and occupation? Zelda Hoss, detective from the 4th Criminal Investigation Division. It's everyone's favourite blue-haired lesbian. Okay. Please explain to us why the victim's a chicken. Please tell us how the victim died. The victim's jugular vein was cut, causing him to die of blood loss. There was no sign of a struggle at the scene, but there were traces of sleeping pills found in the victim's blood, leading us to think he was drugged. Okay. Can you tell anything about the culprit from the victim's wounds? Nope. Right side of the victim's neck had a deep and precise knife wound, nice and clean. From the precision of the wound, the killer was most likely highly practiced with a knife, potentially military training. Damn it. Personal conjecture, please leave that to an expert witness. Don't treat Detective Hoss like an idiot. She's received plenty of close combat knife training. She basically is an expert. Well, that's unexpected. Very well. If the witness is trained in knives, I'll allow it as part of the testimony. Hey, nice. Yeah, trust me. Okay. So you killed him. Do any of our suspects possess that kind of expertise? Yeah, look at this. This is the diploma from a private training institute. The class taught self-defense, including close combat and dagger skills. Krav Maga! That diploma belongs to Honor Chen. We checked with the school and apparently she graduated with high marks. We also looked into whether any suspects have skills in weapons, surgery or cutlery. Honor Chen is the only one who fits any of the criteria. What did you find out about the murder weapon? Currently, we narrowed down the murder weapon to the paring knife found at the scene of the crime. The knife itself is property of LILIEN Entertainment. The knife was tested positive for traces of Mr. C's blood and body tissue. There weren't any other sharp objects found at the scene that could have done it. We found prints on the knife belonging to Honor Chen, Prudence Weeks, Faye Ward, and Sophia Law. Okay, thank you. Judging from the wound, we know this murder wasn't the work of an amateur. Of the 4 people whose prints we found on the knife, only Honor Chen is skilled enough with a knife to have pulled it off. That'll be all, Your Honor. Very well. The defence may now cross-examine the witness. Defence waives its right to cross-examine the witness, Your Honour. No. Forgotten cross-examination will reduce the defence's chance of a favourable outcome. Is that okay? Yeah, prosecution is miles away from proving Honor Chen anything to do with the murder. Don't want to waste any more time. Very well. Defence may call the next witness to the stand. Letting the defendant self-testify. That won't be good for the defence. Is she serious? But she has a high win rate. Really? And not cross-examining the witness? Defence has some strange strategies. It's a tactic defendant likes to use. Don't underestimate her. Please tell us your name and occupation. My name is Honor Chen. I'm Kuri's father and her real face. Okay. What's this real face and who is Kuri? This fool doesn't even know Kuri. Objection. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell that so loud. Let me explain to the court. Kuri refers to LILIEN Entertainment's own VTuber, Kuripa. Father in VTuber slang refers to the VTuber's digital modeler, and real face refers to the person that controls the VTuber behind the scenes. No way. There's a person behind me? I thought it was just some sort of cringe Brit. Oh, shock. Your Honour can imagine Kuripa being a sort of avatar that Miss Chen uses to interact with her audience online. Ah, sounds quite complicated. Is this okay? He doesn't know anything about anything. Can you please not speak unless I ask you a question? You're making things a lot harder for me. Oh, okay. It's okay. It's nice learning all the young people lingo these days. Thanks, Your Honour. Did you have special combat training at an institute and graduate with high marks from your dagger class? Yeah, I did very well with daggers. Why did you take this class? The man I like is attracted to women who know how to cook. Well. Can you please explain the relationship between dagger skills and knowing how to cook? Is that... Well, I just think cooking classes are so lame. So I found a class that at least taught me knife skills, but was also super cool at the same time. At least I thought I could start with knives and learn the rest later. As someone with a good understanding of daggers, do you think the paring knife could be the murder weapon? Personal conjecture? Let me remind you, the paring knife is the murder weapon and on-chain is good with a dagger with 2 of the prosecution's previous claims. You trying to get your own claims? Okay, answer the question. Okay. Well, when I really think about it, it's a little strange. From what I know, the wound is too deep for a paring knife, so I actually think it might be the murder weapon. Interesting. Miss Chen is in fact skilled with daggers and has undergone professional training. But her reasons for such training were personal and had nothing to do with taking her life. We were also still unable to determine whether the paring knife is the murder weapon, something the prosecution still can't seem to explain. And before Prosecutor Truth identifies the murder weapon, there's no way for him to claim Miss Chen's knife training was anything more than culinary and intent. The questions are pretty incisive. Yeah, like she knows exactly where to strike. Very well, I understand. May the prosecution prepare to cross-examine the witness. Alright. This should be fun. Right. Yes, I learned how to use a dagger, only because the guy I like is into women who can cook. Knives are used in the kitchen too. I think it's all related. Anyhow, I don't think the paring knife will be the murder weapon. Press on the guy she likes. So who's this guy you like? Ugh. I can't say. You can't say? Why? What does it have to do with the case anyway? Irrelevant. Does Miss Chen's romantic interest have anything to do with this case? Guess not. No objections to saying. Witness does not have to answer. Thank you. I don't think it does. Who does she like, though? Is it the judge? Father's staying out the kitchen. Unless I'm remembering this wrong, didn't you say something along the lines of fathers don't cook? Yeah, the kitchen is a woman's territory. It's no place for a man like me. So why are you trying to get better at cooking? Ah, a good man should be a jack of all trades. And if it's for the one I love, I don't see a problem with it. Also, daggers are cool. I just went to learn about daggers and the cooking thing was tangential. I didn't go to learn how to cut tuna, alright? Could you please be a little more consistent? Being the best means being strong, being cool. So I can't do anything lame. Lame stuff is for losers. But first you said fathers don't cook, and now you're equating dagger skills with kitchen knife skills. Sounds pretty lame to me. To say that the accusation against Sophie was really serious, and according to Ara, the accusation against Amanda is pretty serious. This is just fucking mental. I didn't want anyone to know, okay? But I had to prove I wasn't the killer, so you forced it out of me. Just quit asking about it, okay? Alright, got it. Real men are adaptable, so if it's for the man I like, I'll go and learn knife skills. They're cool. Press on the knife training. What did you learn about your dagger classes? Other than basic theory, we learned about how to use a dagger in combat. So dagger maintenance, how to hold it, offense and defense, mock combat, emergency maneuvers, pretty stacked curriculum. When using a dagger, how quickly can you incapacitate your opponent? Aim for the hands and eyes. Hands and eyes? This was a military training class. We spent more time on how to avoid fighting. We learned that if you really have to use a dagger in a fight, your goal should be to turn the tables by disarming your opponent. So aim for the hands and eyes, that way they've been able to use their own weapon. What's the most memorable moment of the class for you during or after? That would be a particularly intense battle. Oh. I thought about it for a long, long time until I finally made my decision and bought a piece of blackfin tuna belly. What? But no matter how I cut it, it just looked like garbage. I've never had so much self-doubt in my life. Was all this training just a waste? I cried out. I'll take a freaking cooking class. That's the battle I remember most. A battle I will never forget. Alright, that's enough. Using a dagger is all about disarming your opponent as quickly as possible and aim for the hands and eyes. Press on the knife. Why do you think the paring knife is the murder weapon? The wound's too deep. Obviously a deep wound needs a longer blade. A paring knife would be hard pressed to cut that deep and produce that much blood. The first time I interviewed you at the office, you said Sophie Law was more suspicious because you used the paring knife the most. But now you're saying it couldn't be the paring knife? Why the change? When I said I hadn't seen Mr. C's wound, and honestly, I hadn't thought about it that much. Alright, here's a new question. When and why did you see the victim's wound? I don't like your tone. You sound like it's a problem, I saw Mr. C's wound. Detective Hoss showed me a photo one time when she was questioning me. I saw the amount of blood and started having doubts. Unless I'm mistaken, it's the prosecution's job to investigate the relationship between the victim's wounds and the murder weapon, not to badger a witness about it. Okay, understand. I mean, the thing is, we kind of know that... We kind of already know that this isn't the murder weapon from the previous, but... Let's have a look at the rest of our stuff, then. Okay. We don't seem to have a huge amount of stuff here. So... let's check the evidence again. Got the knife, the alibis, sleeping pills. I don't think she takes them, does she? No. Okay. Very curious. What was her alibi on the night? Was sleeping, apparently. Okay. I mean, I don't think we've got a failure condition, have we? Do we have anything about the actual, like, murder? Because, like, we know that he was stabbed in the neck, not, like, the hands and the eyes. I'm going to try and play the knife here. I don't think that's right, but... yeah, I didn't think that was right. I think we get, like, we'll get a hint in a minute. If we get another one wrong, we'll get a hint. I think we need one. Alright. But his blood's on it. No. Give me a hint. She's very direct, but I don't actually see a problem here. Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. I think everything's fine there. Yeah, I'm done. No further questions. I'm not sure if she's being calculated or if she's just out of touch with reality. I don't know either, but she didn't give us any openings. Is that bad for us? Don't worry, it's just the beginning. Who's the next witness then? Next witness will help us expound a bit more on the defendant's alibi. Okay, come to the stand. Please tell us your name and occupation. Huh? Okay. What an incredible pun. You see in this, ladies. You see this, Erixia. My name is Erie Levant. Irrelevant. She's a student. Okay. And where do you live? Live at number 563, whatever road, 2nd floor. It's an old apartment partitioned into small rooms, living room A. Okay. The defendant lives in the same apartment building in room C, making our witness the defendant's neighbour. I see. Why do you look a lot like Commander Childs? Hold on, I've gotta play that question. Gah. The budget's too low. Too low! What budget? Can we just move on, please? My whole name is Irrelevant. Get it? Irrelevant. I'm just a random witness who has nothing to do with the case. Okay. Well, I feel like I should trust her. That was brilliant. Can you tell me where you were on April 20th? I've got a test coming up, so I was home studying. I was inside from 6 onwards. Okay. Did anything notable happen while you were studying? A bug crawled into my room around 8:10. I hate bugs, kill them all, I say. How'd you deal with it? I asked my neighbours to help. The girl in room B is always working at night, so I knew she wasn't home. The girl in room C is super cool, so I figured she could help me. I knocked on the door for ages, but she never answered. Finally, the girl in room D came out to help me. Okay. What did you notice while knocking on room C's door? I knocked really loud because I was super scared. I knocked and I yelled and I cried. Her light was on since I could see it from the crack in her door. I could hear the sounds of music and someone talking too. So I thought she was definitely there. Thank you. Defendants claim she was at home during the murder. So why would she ignore her neighbour knocking at the door? Unless she wasn't actually there? Your Honour, the prosecution asserts there are flaws in the defendant's alibi. Very well, I understand. Her neighbour's super cute. I figured you'd be making fun of her name or something. You feeling alright? Oh, come on. I just think she's cute, right? Is that not allowed? Emily usually hates when I talk to other women. Wonder why that witness is any different. Would the defence like to cross-examine the witness? No need. You sure? Yeah, I'm confident Ms. Chen's testimony will respond to all the prosecution's claims. Alright. Very well. May the next witness come to the stand. Okay. Where were you on the night of April 20th? At home, I never left. What were you doing? I was streaming, like I've said before, I'm Curry's real face. And that stream was from when to when? 7 to 10. That night we were just chatting, eating some old marshmallows. What do you mean by eating marshmallows? Fans can use a site called Marshmallow to submit anonymous questions. Eating marshmallows is when I read and respond to those questions. Do I seriously have to explain stuff this basic? Yeesh. I have to act like I don't know anything, alright? Can you please check your attitude? Oh, let's all calm down now. May the defence please continue. I'm still shook by the fact the judge seems to, like, get it. Don't make no good kind of sense to me, that. Thank you. Would the stream make it possible for you to not hear outside sounds like the sound of your neighbour knocking on the door? Oh, that was a leading question, wasn't it? Leading question. I thought it was, but it seemed relevant. Objection sustained. Witness need an answer. Ow. I thought that's a leading question, but the thing was, it's like, it's actually kind of... Oh, wait, no, she's leading a... No, I see where I went wrong. Okay. I understand. Just now, your neighbour said they knocked on your door at around 8. Why didn't you answer? I was wearing noise-cancelling headphones while streaming. Sorry, I really didn't hear. As you can see, the prosecution's query has a perfectly reasonable answer. Miss Chen didn't hear her neighbours knocking because she was wearing headphones while streaming. As such, her not answering the door does not mean she wasn't in the room. They knew just what to say. Still, could using streaming as her alibi actually be advantageous for us? Yeah, all part of my plan. She said she had no patience for people who don't understand VTubers, but it's not like everyone watches VTubers. We can use that to our advantage too, since disrespecting the judge is never a good idea. Very well. May the prosecution begin their cross-examination. Okay, got it. So what, we're going to try and trap her by making her piss off the judge? Alright. I didn't go out on April 20th. I was streaming from 7 to 10 since I'm Curry's real face. That day we were eating marshmallows. Didn't hear my neighbour knocking on the door because I was wearing noise-cancelling headphones. Okay. Press on the noise-cancelling headphones. You wear noise-cancelling headphones while streaming? Yeah, I have to be professional and focused, and those earphones block outside noise. If I need to, I'll monitor my own voice. I'll make sure it sounds good and the levels are right. I play music during free chat too, so I really can't hear anything that's happening outside. So you didn't hear your neighbour knocking? Nope, really didn't hear it, sorry. But they handled it and never said anything to me afterwards, so I didn't know. Alright, understand. Press on the day's stream. You eat marshmallows that night, right? Yep. Can you tell us some of the ones you remember? One asked me what I usually wear at home. I said I'm usually dressed more casually at home, just a t-shirt and underwear. If it's cold, I'll wear socks, and I take my underwear off when I sleep. Why is that? Because underwear constricts your blood flow while you sleep, everyone knows that. I'm part of the no panties party. I'm sorry, what? You got a problem with that? I didn't say anything. Ah! Why'd you hit me? It just felt like it. Anyway, that was the only free chat stream that week, so I remember it well. For reference, could you tell me that week's schedule? Monday was a fighting game, Tuesday a collab, Wednesday a horror game, and Thursday was free chat the night of the murder. I don't think that's right. Fighting game? Date with colour? That's, I think, the collab. No, that looks about right, actually. On Friday and Saturday, I was supposed to play a classic mystery game. The murder happened, so it was cancelled. Now, that's not right. Friday, offline. Saturday, Spiky Head Detective. Got it, thank you. Monday was a fighting game, Tuesday collab, Wednesday a horror game, Thursday was free chat. Why are you repeating what I just said? I have here Kuripa's schedule for April 17th to 26th. Alright. And then this here is the revised schedule. At 10:17 on Monday, Kuripa announced Tuesday's collab was cancelled and posted an updated schedule. Now, why is Kuripa's real face? Did you not know this? So let me ask you again. Who did you collab with on Tuesday and what did you do? Let it be known the defendant is unsure of what Kuripa's weekly schedule actually was. They should make it abundantly clear that Miss Chen is not Kuripa's real face. Very well. I understand the prosecution's claim. In fact, the prosecution has more evidence to drive home our claim. We'd like to bring our next witness to the stand, Your Honor. Very well, call him up. Amanda Child says she's the real face too, right? Yes, we have to avoid her mentioning it so she doesn't muddy up our case. Oh, it's giving me a headache just thinking about it. Good luck, Justin. Please state your name and occupation. Amanda Childs, I draw up... No, I'm an illustrator. Okay. I'd like to ask something about a date relatively further back. On November 3rd of last year, were you already an employee at LILIEN? Yes, I was. Okay. What's the relevance of November 3rd? Why did you want to work at LILIEN? Because the interview ran really yummy snacks. And Mr. C told me to eat as much as I wanted, so I just thought it must be a really great company. That's it. Yeah, is that bad? Maybe I don't need to ask that question. Seconded. Hey, you don't have to agree with me. Let's just get back to the case, alright? Do you remember what you did that day? I remember we had a meeting about Kuripa 2.0, a new model. Can you briefly describe that meeting? LILIEN decided to create a new version of Kuripa's 3D model, version 2.0. They want to give him more expressions and movements. Okay. Who was part of the meeting? I remember Mr. C, Misty, Honor, and me, 4 people in total. Okay. How did you discuss the modelling and art requirements? We had to confirm the new expressions with Kuri, so Honor said she'd do that. But when I asked her about it, she said, I don't know, Kuri hasn't responded yet. But if she's Kuri's real face, then why would she say she hasn't responded yet? If she's Kuri, that's kind of weird, right? If she wants to hide her identity, she could have just said Kuri hasn't responded yet. No, I don't know. Personal conjecture? Objection sustained. Refrain from personal opinions. Did I say something wrong? Sorry. It's okay. I'll still work that into my claim. Okay. That's a leading statement. That's a leading statement. Try this one? Yeah, that's the one. Yes, because I have to wait for confirmation before I can start drawing. Took a while, it delayed my start date, so I remember it real clearly. Okay. Prosecutor Truth? Sorry. According to witness testimony, we know the defense said at a meeting, I don't know, Curry hasn't responded yet. Now, if the defendant is telling the truth, she is Kuripa's real face. So then, why would she not know her own opinion? The prosecution asserts the defense claim being Kuripa's real face is flawed and should not be deemed an acceptable alibi. Very well. Justin thinks something's still not right. Didn't Amanda's testimony also prove you caught that too, huh? I didn't catch it before a preliminary court, but that's not what we should be paying attention to right now. Okay. Do. Okay. Would the defense like to cross-examination the witnesses? Nah, defense waives its right to a cross-examination. Oh, I got it. This judge is very casual, isn't he? Then bring the next witness to the stand. She's back. Amanda Charles mentioned you were in the same meeting on November 3rd of last year. Do you remember this? I guess so. It's about my daughter's 2.0 model, and that's a big deal for any modeler. Is it true you volunteered to confirm the details with Kuripa? Yep, that was my idea. Seeing that you're Kuripa's real face, why did you reply, I don't know, when Amanda asked you for an update? Aha! Hypothetical question. Did you answer, I don't know, Curry hasn't responded yet? I've answered that already. Was it this to hide your identity? Oh! Leading question. Yeah, I should have seen that. Objection sustained. Witness need an answer. Please explain why you answered that way. There were multiple reasons. One, I was busy. I knew I had to confirm the specs, but I hadn't had time to think about it yet. Two, company policy is no one can know Kuripa's real face, so I obviously couldn't say I had to think about it. Given those two reasons, I could only think to push the responsibility onto a non-existent real face. Can you tell me how you ended up deciding Kuripa's 2.0 expressions? How? Once I finished my modelling work, I just sat down and thought about it for a bit and then told Amanda what Kuripa decided on. Okay. Thank you. Miss Chen said, I don't know, Kuri hasn't decided yet because she couldn't risk revealing her identity. The prosecution's previous assertion is unproven, meaning we still can't rule out Miss Chen being Kuripa's real face. This is the defense's claim. Dang, she worked it all out. Do you think we can win this, Justin? I don't know, we have to try. Very well. Would the prosecution like to cross-examine the witness? For a meme VTuber game that has some complex trial scenes, I mean, I think calling it a meme game is actually a bit reductive. And I don't mean anything bad. I don't mean like anything bad by that. But I think that that's too much of a simplification. You gotta go. No worries. I will catch you next time then, Hades. You take care and you have a good night. We're playing some Half-Life tomorrow. We're carrying on with Heart of Evil. Yes. But yeah, going back to the point you raised just now, I'll just kind of carry on my thought for the rest of chat. There are lots of memes in this, yeah. But I think calling it a meme game is an oversimplification. I think actually it's a lot deeper than that. Like, it's a serious courtroom drama with VTuber memes. And, you know, the stakes are pretty high. Like, we found that at the last stream. The stakes are pretty damn high. We're going to cross-examine her. Okay, please begin. Okay. I was too busy back in November and couldn't reveal my identity, so I said, I don't know, Curry hasn't responded yet. Once I was done with my work, I thought about Curry 2.0 and gave the specs to Amanda. Okay. Didn't we have some details about Curry 2.0? Why did you volunteer to talk to Kuripa yourself? I mean, I'm Kuripa's real face, so it makes sense. Regardless of who asked Kuri, I'm the one who's going to see it. So why waste more time and make it more complicated when I can just do everything myself? That's why I usually volunteer for contacting Kuri about stuff. Just being practical. Alright, got it. That's why she volunteers to contact her. Work messages sent between Honor Chen and Sophia Law during Kuripa's stream, proving Sophie can't be the real face. I'll try that. Oh, that's not right. Ouch. Press on being busy. What are you busy with back then? Amanda mentioned the meeting was about Curry's 2.0 model. Listen, I had to handle 80% of the pre-modeling work myself, so confirming a few expressions was not on my radar. Lillian barely gave me any time to do it at all, too. So you're busy with pre-modeling work? Yeah, I need to research new skills, collect old photos, and increase the scope of new events. I was insanely busy, so I forgot to confirm the expressions for a bit. How much time did Lillian give you to complete this work exactly? Only 2 weeks, and it was really rushed 2 weeks, so I remember it well. How long would you normally have for a modelling job? Depends how complicated it is, but usually 20 to 30 days. And this time you only had 14 days, which is why you felt rushed. Don't forget I have to stream too. Kuripa has to stream 5 days a week for at least 2 hours each time. So how much time do you think I really have to focus on modelling? Got it. Okay. Is the model you made back then the same one Kuripa is using now? Yep. Please tell me about 3 of the expressions you chose. Model 1.0 just had the basics. For 2.0, we added heart eyes, evil face, sleeping face, etc. Also, she could wave and sway back and forth. Why did you choose to add these new expressions? Waving was so Kuri could say hi and bye to her fans. The other expressions are for special occasions, so they use less. The swaying is just because I thought it was cute. Hey there, SRML16, how you doing? What is up, indeed? No, it's fine, thank you. For version 2.0, we added heart eyes, evil face, and sleepy expressions. We gave her waving and shaking actions. Is that so? Heart eyes, evil face, sleepy, wave, shake. No, that tracks. That tracks. How do you keep your identity a secret from everyone? My main strategy was just maintaining the look of a loving father. As long as I did that, no one around me suspected I was a real face. Apart from that, volunteering to contact Kuri from work was another tactic. Then no one would have to use Kuripa's account to contact me, and there'd be less of a chance for them to find out who I was. So, to keep up appearances, would you contact Kuripa through your personal account, then use Kuripa's account to respond? No, why the heck could I do that? I am Kuripa, I have to keep that a secret, but I don't have my way to pretend either. I'm not going to have a conversation with myself. That would just look stupid. Got it. Doesn't mean I'll talk to myself online like a crazy person. I thought we had a chat between them, did we not? Aha! This is what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. I knew we had something like that. This is a screenshot sent to Amanda Charles from the defendant on November the 6th. As we can see from the screenshot, the defendant texted Kuripa confirming each new expression one by one. And yet the defendant just said that talking to herself would make her look like a crazy person. As per the defendant's own claim, if she really were Kuripa's real face, then she wouldn't have to send herself a message. But in the info she gave Miss Charles, there was obviously a separate Kuripa chatting with her. From this, it's clear to see the defendant is not Kuripa's real face and therefore cannot have been home streaming during the murder. That'll be all, Your Honour. Yes, we've finally proven it. Yep, all thanks to Amanda for digging up that old screenshot. Very well, I understand the prosecution's statement. Who's the next witness then? My next witness will help us establish the defendant's motive. Alright, bring him in. It's Misty. Hello, Misty. Please state your name and occupation. Misty Ryu, administrator and accountant at LILIEN Entertainment. Okay. Now, I'm really confused. I'm starting to wonder if she's the murderer, you know. Please briefly describe what happened at work on March 31st. That day, Honor went into the office around 3 and had a fight with Mr. C. What was the reason? At a meeting the day before, Mr. C announced we would be selling adult Kuripa merch anonymously. Honor went into the office March 31st to talk to him about it. They ended up having a physical altercation, and Honor said, "You'll pay for this," then slammed the door and left the office. Now, I'd like to ask you what happened on April 7th. Where were you that day? Went into the office. Did anything special happen? Yeah, Honor apologised to me. She said she actually accidentally kicked it over the night before and she'd buy me a new one. What'd you say to that? I accepted her apology, but I still thought it was weird. What was weird? Because that plant was in a place you can't really kick over by accident. It wasn't near Honor's seat. So since I thought that was weird, I went to check the cameras and, well, take a look. The night before, after everyone had left, she went into Mr. C's break room and took out a manga. Uh-oh. A little bit later, she slammed the book down on the ground and started breaking everything around her, including my potted plant, and then ripped the manga to shreds. Uh-oh. The office was a total mess. After a while, she finally cleaned up, but put it back to normal and left. Okay. Who else in the company knows about this? Why don't I start hulking out? Hulking out? I mean, you said she ripped a comic book into shreds. That would take some serious anger. What kind of comic make her that mad? Leading malicious intent? Ah, sustained. What, you don't like the Hulk? If you don't get back to the case, prepare to face my gavel of justice. Alright, I'm sorry, please put the hammer down. Sometimes you're really scary, Your Honor. Okay. Who else in the company knows about this? Only Mr. C and I know, or knew. Why? Mr. C was the second person in the office that day. I showed him the footage, then he told me not to show anyone else. Okay, did you go into the office the day before on April 6th? Yeah. Okay. Did anything particularly memorable happen? That day was when I came out the bathroom and saw Anna standing in front of Mr. C's break room. His door was open a little bit, but she didn't go inside. She was just standing outside looking in. Then she noticed me staring at her and walked away. She passed me by and I noticed pure naked fury. What was in his break room at the time? Actually, I did look, and I saw Mr. C reading a fan-made Kuripa doujinshi. Uh-oh. Thank you. On March the 31st, due to a new company policy, the defendant had a physical altercation with the victim. Even though the defendant claims to have made up with the victim that very night, we know from a witness testimony the defendant was still highly angry with the victim. The prosecution asserts this anger was enough to serve as a motive for murder. Very well. Would the defense like to skip a cross-examination? Nope, I'd like to cross-examine. Oh, very well. Defense may begin their cross-examination. Okay. Can you explain what pure naked fury means? Just a sort of deadly rage. I'm sorry, but that's too vague. Can you explain what deadly rage is? So that's how it is. You're going to keep pressing me on emotions that can't easily be explained until my words become meaningless, and you can separate those emotions from any potential motive the defendant may have had. Is that right? Let me think. Kind of like this. Oh! Damn! Does that explain the kind of pure naked fury I saw in Honor's eyes? Thank you. Was it that expression that made you question Honor's reason for breaking a plant and why you went to check the cameras? Oh, it's wrong. That question's against the rules. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, I think so. If I hadn't seen that look on her face the day before, I probably would have thought twice when she said she broke it by accident. So you're saying she broke company property and ripped that comic to release that pent-up anger? Oh, come on, that's a leading question, sure. No. Ah. Yeah, you can see on the camera she trashed the place. So according to your words, Honor Chen got all that rage when she trashed the place that night. Huh? Let me ask, after that day, did you ever witness any anger between Honor and Mr. C again? No. Do you have any evidence to prove that Honor Chen was still angry at Mr. C after that night in the office? No. Thank you, no further questions. Prosecution used clever reverse narration to try and create a scenario in which the defendant was still angry with the victim. But according to the witness, Miss Chen already took all of her anger out on inanimate objects around the office on the night of the altercation. Everyone needs an outlet for their anger. While Miss Chen's may be a bit extreme, doesn't mean she intended to kill. I believe the prosecution needs to present more substantial evidence to prove their claim. She's seen through our tricks. Misty thought it was game over, but now she's the one who got played. Zoe totally reframed what the witness said, and then she agreed with that. Is that even allowed? Now then, who's the next witness? Before the next witness takes the stand, defense would like to quickly respond to the prosecution's claim. Okay, go ahead. The prosecution casted doubts on whether Miss Chen is Kuripa's real face. Doubts which have been supported by reliable evidence. As such, the defence admits that Miss Chen is not Kuripa's real face and would like to withdraw related claims. Does that mean the defence wishes to retract the defence alibi? Yes, but this doesn't mean the defendant is guilty. Defence still believes the defendant is not guilty when proved so in court. Seems defence still has more claims to make then. Now, the defence would like to bring our final witness to the stand. Alright, bring him out. Zelda! What are you having the defence for? So he said she'd go on a date with me. Could you please have some integrity? It's the defence's turn, Mr. Truth. May the prosecution please refrain from interjecting. Sorry. Just wait. Please say your name and occupation. Okay, Zelda Hoss, detective with the 4th Criminal Investigation Division. I can't believe she betrayed us for a date again. According to police investigation, the victim arrived at the office at 7 PM on the night of April 20th. The current estimated time of death is between 9:50 and 11:30, right? Right? Question mark? That's a leading question. Ah. Right. Has the police investigated why the victim was at the office so late? We originally thought the victim had a habit of staying late in the office, but this morning uncovered some new information. Please look at this. Okay. We checked Kuripa's messaging apps, but most of our conversations have been deleted, including those with the victim. The conversation just shown was a screenshot posted up on social media this morning. We asked one of our IT guys to check its authenticity, and he confirmed the screenshot wasn't doctored, so it must have been taken before the conversation was deleted. You found it on social media? How? We scrubbed the internet for specific keywords every day regarding Kuripa's case. The screenshot was posted by someone going under the name Operator A, then it spread around the net like wildfire. How have you looked into this Operator A? Of course. We weren't able to uncover their identity though. Seems to use a lot of anti-tracking software. That said, did find one more screenshot, take a look. Okay. According to this, Mr. C and Kuripa got into a heated argument on April 14th, with Kuripa even threatening to leave the company. Have the authorities investigated the possibility of Kuripa being the culprit? Objection! Sorry to interrupt, but I have something to say. She's the one who objected. It's not your turn to speak, Miss Chen. Really quick, just one thing. I killed Mr. C, I'm the killer. What? You said something that cannot be overlooked. I don't like beating around the bush, I figured this would be faster. So that cop doesn't have to keep talking, I did it. The defence requested a brief time out, Your Honour. Looks like the defence needs to reaffirm their position yet again. Alright, 10-minute recess. I can't believe she admitted it. Maybe she doesn't want to get Kuripa involved in this. Justin? Hey, Justin. Oh, sorry. What did you say? Are you alright? I was just thinking about why she admitted it. Why does it matter? Don't we win now? Yeah, but what if she's just trying to protect her daughter? You think she admits it just to protect Kuripa? Detective Voss's new evidence is pretty compelling too. Recess is over. What now, Justin? Prosecution can't ignore the defendant's statement. We want to cross-examine her. It's a reasonable request. What does defense think? Fine with me. I don't care. Defender done? Defense doesn't object. Alright, may the defendant take the stand. Let's grill this steak. I killed Mr. C because he sold adult Kuripa merch. I got to the officer around 8:30 and drugged Mr. C with sleeping pills. After he passed out, I killed him with the office paring knife and then left. Finally, I'm not Kuripa's real face. Okay. Very well. Is this the defendant's testimony? Yes. Prosecution may start the cross-examination. Alright. I killed Mr. C because he sold adult Kuripa merch, got to the officer around 8:30 and drugged Mr. C with sleeping pills. After he passed out, I killed him with the office paring knife and then left. Finally, I'm not Kuripa's real face. There's a problem with this, though. She took the first pill, isn't sure where the second went, so I suppose, reasonably, the second pill could have gone into Mr. C, I guess. Why'd you kill Mr. C? It's like what Misty said. At first I thought I could accept adult Kuripa merch being sold, but then I saw Mr. C reading it in his office and his behaviour, and I just lost it. To be honest, I didn't know Misty looked at the camera, so I am really sorry about breaking her potted plant. After all that, though, I was still furious at Mr. C, so much that I wanted to kill him. What do you mean by Mr. C's behaviour? I refuse to answer that. It just made me want to kill him, okay? That's all. Alright, got it. My motive was being unable to stand Mr. C sexualizing my daughter and making money off it, especially with what he did in his break room. That's a hell of a statement. What's he doing in the break room? I don't like that. I don't like that, guys. Okay. How'd you get to the office? Tell me about how and when you got to the office from home. I left home a little after 8 PM, took public transport, getting to the office around 8:30. That's when I saw Mr. C there. I dumped the powder from the sleeping pills into his walls when he wasn't looking, stuff I got from Amanda. They didn't take effect until almost 10. Okay. I waited until a little after 10 just to be safe, then I killed him. After that, I left around 10:20. How do you know he'd be in the office? I asked him that day and he said he'd be there late. What route did you take to and from the office? I went through the second floor window. Second floor has cameras, so I couldn't take the elevator or stairs. Alright, got it. Entered the office through the second floor window at 8:30, drugged Mr. C's drink when he wasn't paying attention, killed him at 10. Okay. I knew he'd be there because I asked earlier in the day. Do we have anything to refute this? Kuripa knew that he was going to be in the office late that day. Press on the murder details. Just earlier in your testimony, you said the paring knife was too small to make a cut that deep. Can you explain how you did it then? I've been professionally trained, remember? As long as you stick it in as deep as it'll go, a paring knife could and did produce that wound. Please briefly describe your process of killing Mr. C with the knife. He was already passed out from the pill, so we didn't put up a fight. I stuck the knife into his neck and dragged it across until I knew I made a fatal incision. I accidentally dropped the knife when I was leaving. Originally, I didn't mean to leave any evidence behind. Where'd you drop it? No, I probably dropped it when I was cleaning up, so I guess I dropped it by the exit. This is the same thing that that Sophie said. Found on Prudence Week's desk. Her testimony is almost perfect. If I don't say anything right now, I'll undoubtedly win, but I have no interest in victory. All I seek is the truth. That is the sole reason I do this job. Listen to your heart. Does the prosecution have further questions? Sorry, I was just thinking. The prosecution would like to present evidence 001. What's this? This is the report on the paring knife. According to the police and the first witness on the scene, the paring knife was found on Prudence Week's desk. The defendant, however, thinks she dropped it into the exit quite the distance from Miss Week's desk. The prosecution asserts this contradiction casts serious doubt upon the defendant's confession. Has the prosecution's claim changed then? In light of these new facts, we must admit our previous conclusions were flawed. I have no further questions. Very well. Any further witnesses? Nope. Well then, may the two sides give their closing remarks. Defendant harboured a clear murderous intent towards the victim for selling adult Kuripa merchandise. She knew how to avoid the office cameras and possessed the necessary knife skills to commit the crime. However, the section of her testimony regarding where she dropped the murder weapon conflicts with the facts, casting doubt on her guilt. As such, there is more that must be cleared up regarding the murder. Even though Miss Chen has admitted to the crime, she was incorrect on what happened to the paring knife, meaning the whole truth has yet to be laid bare. Miss Chen's position also changed just as another suspect has come to the forefront, that being none other than Kuripa herself. The defence believes the defendant may have only changed her position in order to protect her daughter. Defence asserts Kuripa is in fact the more likely culprit, and despite her confession, Miss Chen did not commit this crime. Okay. Very well. Court has determined there are too many unsolved factors in this case. Recommend prosecution conduct a new investigation into the defendant's guilt in the intent of the win the case. As such, the case will be retried at a later date. Court's adjourned. Donk donk. Okay. And this brings us back here. So we can pretty much like jump into any extra chapter then, huh? If we look at this then. Chapter 2 is 100% done. Yeah, so if we go back to chapter 2 then we can follow through on who we accused in... We can select who we accused in chapter 3. Right. And that impacts on, I think, this bit here. Ooh, most curious. Most curious. We were only 89% done with chapter 4, weren't we? Okay. So let's have a look at chapter 4. But let's also select that as... let's select that as being Sophie. Right. Let's jump back in here. I want to see if there's any extra stuff that we can get this up to 100% with. Okay. Yeah, give me an idea. What about Sophie? Let's talk about accusing Sophie. She met with her boyfriend on the night of the murder, which is very suspicious. We can accuse her on Mr. C's life insurance and meeting with her boyfriend. Oh, we can actually accuse all of the employees at this stage. So the first bit, we have 3 to choose from. At this stage, we can accuse literally all of them. That is very curious. I guess that we'd have to unlock making accusations against Misty and Prudence and Faye then, huh? Okay. Very curious. Alright. I'm probably going to keep this stream kind of short tonight, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and get like 100% on this bit so that we're like all prepared up. Let's go on to the let's ask Hoss about stuff. Anything Hoss can do? Not really. Finish the stuff? Yes, we do. That's fast. I swear I'm not surprised how efficient you are. You haven't made mistakes either, even though you're always slacking off. That's why I finish boring stuff quick, so I have more time to slack off. Pfft, you know what? That's a really good attitude, actually. Sometimes I really can't tell if you're dumb or smart. Oh, I'm dumb. I can only do simple stuff. Pretty sure the work I gave you wasn't simple. It was. You gave me really clear instructions, so I just had to follow them. I don't need to compare right versus wrong. I just need to follow the rules. Any dude can do that. Works for me since I'm a coward who can't make her own decisions. You're right. I get myself loathing all of a sudden. Sorry, my dark side came out. Oh, okay, now I pushed it back into the abyss. I don't think you have an issue with right versus wrong. Actually, I think it's the opposite. I trust you know what's right, which is why you do such a good job. But I don't have the final say over anything. Listen, a lot of people get it wrong and think prosecutors have all this flexibility to make decisions based on some unfailing moral compass. The truth is, once the evidence is right in front of us, we don't have much of a choice. In fact, a lot of that freedom is in the hands of people like you who investigate and curate the evidence. I realize you're trying to make me feel better. I'm sorry for making you worry. If you need help, just ask, or ask Emily since she's so eager to please. Alright, thanks a lot, prosecution. It's nice to work with you. Likewise. Wait, is that... No, that's not part of it. Alright. We've already spoken to all of these, haven't we? Oh, for some reason it hasn't kept the conversation with this guy. This is the whale, wasn't it? We've seen this already. Did I like reload after something? Okay. Okay. Just answer honestly. Okay. Let's begin. Oh, this was the life insurance policy, wasn't it? Mr. C's insurance policy? How'd you have this? The gun. Yeah, I remembered that. I thought we already had that. Still at 89%. I don't think there's anything new on YouTube, is there? No. Okay. What's that? Oh, okay. It was something on my monitor. I thought it was a crack, but it's not. It better not be. No, I sneezed on it. Lovely. Congealed. That's what that is. It's just congealed. Okay. Right then. I think, like, pulling people in would be maybe a smart move. I guess the other thing is, I think who we accuse in the first trial affects who we can accuse in the second one. Like, can I speak? Is there anything else they can talk to me about? Nope. Not for Amanda. Not for Prudence. She's got nothing. I think we're going to have to do the other, like, pre-trial segment before we get anything further here. Why is my mouth tracking so bad today? Holy shit. Hey, is that better? Is it because my posture was changed? Maybe. Okay. I'm just seeing if they've got anything else extra to give me at the moment. Nope. Okay. I don't think they've got anything extra to tell me. Nope. Maybe I missed something on Twitter. I guess we're going on Twitter then. Okay. And Ara said... choose the options that are in blue that we've not already gone through. I don't see anything extra here. Maybe late but never absent. Oh, what's this? Posted a screenshot right after the hearing ended. Too perfect to be a coincidence. Curious. Very curious, guys. Very curious. Whoever watches VTubers is a dog. Not much else extra there. I don't think there's anything extra that I can get there. I guess we'd have to go through the other, courtroom chapters then. Alright, well, in that case, guys, I'm going to wrap this up tonight because, like, my cough has gotten substantially worse today and I don't feel really very well, if I'm honest. So, let me pull over here. I'm sorry it's a short one, but... okay, there we go. Whew. Yeah, my chest has been bad today. I had to come home from work at lunch. I carried on working so I could work from home, but I came back from the office at lunchtime, which is never optimal. But yeah, we are going to try next time. I'm just having a look here to see. I think Ara hid this game on their Steam. So looking at this in terms of, yeah, so there's 6 achievements we've got left to do, and there is a timeline which looks to specifically be called the truth. So I presume that that's the correct ending. This is very hard to work out, because the thing is, any single one of them could have done it. I was so sure we had it last time, but just straight up didn't. But anyway, I am going to be back tomorrow with some Half-Life, alright? Hopefully I'm going to see you guys then for that. That would be cool. If I don't, though, then, you know, it's all good. I'm also going to be working on my ROM hack stuff. I should also have some emotes coming soon as well, because the phenomenal Hexose has just released Emote Lab on Steam. Hexose is the one who... let me pull my models up a minute. Hexose, whee, is the absolute legend who made this model. Yeah, I'm a chibi again, guys. So Hexose made this model. Also made Mark 1, which is the very first model I ever streamed with. So they've got quite a dear place in my heart. But they made Emote Lab, which basically allows you to make emotes for streaming use, which is really cool. And it's on sale on Steam right now for like about £7, which is a phenomenally cheap price. I'll be bluntly honest. It's incredibly cheap. So yeah, I'm going to be working on some emotes and whatnot as well, because, you know, that'll be neat. That'll be neat. But yes, in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. Take lots of care, alright? Hopefully I'm going to see you soon, but if I don't, make sure you have a good night, and I will see you then. Take care.